So Arwen, what are you doing right now?
I'm grooming him.
So what all does that entail?
Well, first of all, I have to brush him off to make sure that all the dirt he has on him is off of him, to make sure that none of it gets stuck underneath the saddle and makes him uncomfortable.
And is this something you have to do every day that you practice?
Yes.
And you said it's so that his saddle, that he won't have any dirt under his saddle. So this isn't really about making him look pretty. This is really about him being comfortable to ride. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a part of grooming too?
Yes.
So what are you doing now?
I'm making sure that nothing in his hooves could possibly hurt him while he's running.
It's like gravel and dirt.
Yeah.
And again, you have to do this every day, right? When you're practicing every day, you practice almost every day and you have to do this every day, correct?
Sometimes I have to do it even if I'm not practicing, just to make sure.
So while you're doing that, can you tell us some of the other chores that you have to do every day as it relates to your sport and as it relates to just having a farm with animals?
Well, I do have to make sure they're fed every day so that they can remain healthy, make sure they're getting the proper nutrition.
Who's they?
Well, the horse and the donkeys.
What else? What other animals do you have?
The chickens, the turkeys, the bunny, the dogs, all of them.
Wow, that's a lot, isn't it?
It's quite a bit.
So how many hours a day would you say you spend just taking care of animals?
Well, I'd say about an hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning, feeding and riding and training. And then the afternoon, basically the same.
So a couple hours every day in the morning and then a couple hours every evening. And that's before you even get to go practice, ride, and shoot.
Yep.
And that's in addition to school and everything else.
Yep.
So Arwen, what are you doing now?
Tacking him up.
So you're tacking him up. So this is all his gear. So is that, so that's pretty heavy?
The saddle is, yeah.
And again, this is all about the grooming and the hooves and the tacking. That all takes about how long before you can even start to warm him up for practice?
I'd say about 30 minutes.
I'm sorry, can you turn and talk to us for a minute?
Yeah.
About how long?
About 30 minutes.
And then about how long does it take to warm him up?
Well, you want to make sure the horse is properly warmed up. You don't want to just go right into it and make them run, because they could strain a muscle doing that.
Okay, Arwen, so what are you doing now?
I'm checking to make sure each of the tips are screwed on and the knocks are in the right place before I shoot them.
And what are you doing with them after you check them?
Loading them into my quiver.
Okay, so that's what you pull from is your quiver.
Yes. Yeah, this is what I check for. This one doesn't have a knock, which means I can't use it.
Gotcha. And how are you loading them into the quiver to make sure that it's right?
Well, I make sure that each of the arrows are in their own individual pocket, that none of them are bunched together, so that when I grab them out, I don't pull out too many at a time.
Got it. Okay, Arwen, so what are you doing now?
I'm warming him up to get ready to practice.
So how long do you have to warm him up every day
At least 20 minutes.
before you can practice? So really, it's about an hour of grooming and hoof cleaning and tacking and warming up before you can even start a practice in a day. Is that right?